Yo, what's good? It's your host, Pro Bowl wide receiver Allen Robinson, my co-host Prince Amukamara, Super Bowl champion. We have a lot to talk about this week, man. Just concluded week 11 of the NFL season. But first, we have a special matchup coming this week, don't we?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a special matchup coming this week.
I wouldn't call it special though. But
Penn
yeah,
State versus Nebraska.
the Nebraska.
That's happening this weekend, right?
So you guys are minus 10.5, I believe. Well, so which is just wild, but it's all good.
Is that wild?
Yes, that's wild.
I
After
will
the
say this.
you guys done put up this year, it's but we'll see. I think what happens is what you guys did. Your performance against Ohio State is what's got Vegas spooked, but it's all good.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Me personally, I've never beat Nebraska, but the circumstances in which I lost to them, first and foremost, was Joe Pa's last season. That was the week that everything went down. We played Nebraska that week. I believe we were seventh in the country, 8-1 at the time. Only loss was to Bama. Some unfortunate circumstances and situation happened. Then the next two seasons and times that I played them, we were sanctioned. So I got some excuses.
I I wasn't in Big Ten, so I can't add to that. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one
What
Saturday.
was your conference when you was in college? I didn't even know
Well,
that. The who?
Big Big 12.
Y'all
So
was Big
had Texas,
12.
Oklahoma State, Colorado, Iowa State,
Oh, y'all
Kansas.
had a solid little Iowa was in the Big 12?
No, Iowa State. My bad. Iowa State,
Oh, okay.
Baylor, um, Texas Tech. Yeah,
West
we had
Virginia, or what conference are they in?
well, but West Virginia was in the East, the Big East or something like that. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, big weekend. We know who's gonna get the dub. And I especially want to beat Matt Rule. I'm glad y'all got y'all extension done with him. I think y'all can keep cuz.
He want to be y'all. Hey, we got to do a little bit. Loser got to sing the fight song on the pod.
Gotta
That's
sing the fight song. All
of
right, all right.
the opposing teams.
I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. I
That's
could do
like
that. Big week for the NFC North this weekend. The Chicago Bears took the lead in the division, followed by the Green Bay Packers in second, and the Detroit Lions in third. And I want to start with the Detroit Lions first. To me, and in my opinion, this is a year where I don't think Detroit Lions fans should be upset, spooked, or anything. I think the Lions, like, they've done everything else except for winning the playoffs, and I think that's the focus right now. So I think because I look at last season, right? If you had said if we could have traded a game during the regular season, if we had took an L, or just hypothetically speaking, if we could have traded a game during the regular season for that loss against the Washington Commanders, we would have done that. We spent the entire season very similar, I feel like, in a sense, to the 73-9 Warriors. They didn't win the championship, but as far as every other record within their franchise, they broke. We did that. Most wins in franchise history, won the division, yards and everything. So as far as the only thing that they haven't accomplished is winning in the playoffs. So I think for them, getting into the playoffs is the most prevalent thing for them. And I think as long as they do that, I think they'll be just fine. Now, as far as the Chicago Bears, I think if the Chicago Bears win one or two more games, that this is a successful season for them. What do you think about that?
well, I want to go back to the Detroit Lions. First of all, to compare the line, the reason why you can't compare the Lions to the Warriors of that year was because I believe the Warriors went to the championship, right?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah. So the Lions didn't, but yes, the success that the Warriors did have, the type of season, yes, definitely a lot of laterals there. But also, I think what we're seeing is a Jared Goff without Ben Johnson. like we're starting to see. And so when you say that Lions should be um, shouldn't be shouldn't panic, shouldn't be in panic mode, it's like, well, we got to see. I mean, are they going to keep the same OC? I mean, Dan Campbell is now calling the plays, and you can see how he's calling. He's calling the plays that that's similar to his identity, which is hard nose run. You see a lot of downhill run with David Montgomery and and Jimmy Gibbs, and you're kind of seeing like run pass. And so, yeah, I think when Jared Goff had Ben Johnson, the offense was just more creative, and and it played to Jared Goff's strength. So maybe just has to get used to, you know, a Dan Campbell play. But yes, I mean the Bears they have already exceeded expectations. I mean, after starting 0-2, I feel like most people count them out. And but Ben Johnson, I mean, you spoke to the type of coach. In the interviews, he never looked like he seemed very poised, and he just seemed like, hey, like everything's gonna be okay. Almost like now, always like chill out, like everything's gonna be okay. So that's what we're seeing. And there's a lot of Caleb, um, because he's probably not as playing as well, but it's winning football. Is it sustainable? We don't know. Like you said, if they win the next two games, I think the Bears we have to start putting the Bears in the same line that I've been denying for the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos what they just did, and I know we might talk about them later, but what they just did to the Chiefs, and just continuing to just win, just stack wins, and these are playoff type wins, one score games, one possession game, 2 minute drills, and the Bears, back to the Bears. The Bears have been those. So when they do get into the playoffs, it's going to be adversity, and being down is going to be something that they're foreign to.
And I want to bring up something that you mentioned because you talked about the Denver Broncos. And I say that because we're getting into November football. For me, as a veteran in the league, I would always talk to and preach to the younger players that this November football is so important because you're setting yourself up for December and hopefully January football. So playing meaningful games in November is huge. Like we just saw the Broncos beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are playing against the Indianapolis Colts at home this week coming up. And these are very big games for the division. The Green Bay Packers play against, excuse me, the Chicago Bears play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All those games with where the divisions are at right now are huge. I mean, I think back to sometime when we were in Chicago, when we started to think about November football, we're gearing up to try to clinch our division, which we did in 2018, and then also be prepared for the playoffs as well. But for me personally, man, I love November football. It feels like football. It's the fall. You see the leaves change. It's a little bit cold. You start to have to put on the long sleeves. I was a November football guy. Like I feel like I played my best football a lot of times late in the season.
Yeah, I would 100%. And November football is when, like you said, they're meaningful games, and that's when teams start to really separate themselves. And to be honest, I feel like even though a team's identity um, is already has been identified in November, I still feel like there's a whole different playbook. Like I'm starting to see. I remember on defense, like, hey, they wasn't running those plays in the first half of the season, and you just see teams just start to dig in their bags a little bit.
Yeah, you got to evolve.
Yeah,
Obviously you're heavy tendency based. We know the analytic departments for most teams are looking at formation tendencies, personnel tendencies, first and second down kind of tendencies and stuff
right.
like that. Um, Now, sometimes we typically save some of these questions for later in the show, but I'm gonna get straight to it right now, man. From what you saw right now going into week 12, Baltimore Ravens or Pittsburgh Steelers, who are you taking to win that division?
Hold on. How many wins do the Baltimore Ravens have right
I
now?
believe they're 5-5.
And then, so what about the Steelers?
I
That'd be
believe
like
the Steelers
seven,
have 6 wins.
6 wins.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I believe the Steelers are 6-4. I'm gonna fact check that really quickly,
Oh
but I
God, that's so
believe
tough.
it's 6-4 and 5-5 is what I believe.
That is so tough. I mean, if you force me to, to choose somebody, I gotta go with the Ravens were the first people to. No, I'm going Steelers. I'm going Steelers
Steelers
just
are
because.
6-4. Baltimore Ravens are 5-5. The Steelers play the Bears this week. The Ravens play the Jets.
Yeah, I like the Steelers. And I like the Steelers. I like the Steelers just because my pick was for Aaron Rodgers to win the Super Bowl this year, and so I'm
That's
going to stick
that's
with
one of
that.
Prince's picks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to
Okay,
stick
okay.
with that.
We actually have a segment at the end of the show, Prince's picks. So, even if it's some picks later on down the line and stuff like that, I want you to definitely let us know. But listen, man, I've played in that division. I've played in that division when that particular game came down to the last game of the season, and the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the last regular season game for both of those teams are against each other. So we
Mm.
have a potential for it to line up to be like a division championship. And when I was in Pittsburgh, our last game was the Baltimore Ravens, and if we beat them, then we guaranteed ourselves to get into the playoffs. And we went
Wow.
into M&T Bank Stadium and beat them, and we got into the playoffs. Torrential downpour.
There goes that word again.
Team played great. We were in M&T Bank Stadium playing "Walking Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap," which is one of Coach Tomlin's favorite songs when we went on the road.
What's the song again?
Walking Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap. I
I
don't know if
haven't
that's the
even
name of
heard
the
that.
song, but that's how I go.
I heard Kirk Cousins say that. That's where I heard it first.
Yeah. But that's a I know that from Tomlin. It could be from others, but I know that from Coach T. But we spoke about November football. We spoke about the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers. Now let's talk about this time of year. Let's speak just to how defense travels. You know, I know sometimes we talk about the offenses and highlighting that, as we just kind of spoke to earlier in the show as well. The Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs. We saw last week the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks, all games that kind of were defensive struggles a little bit, and the defense really played well and kind of carried all of those games, even though we have Bo Nix, we have Patrick Mahomes, we have Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold. It was the defense that won the day. So by you being a defensive guy, and I've asked some of my colleagues this, right? When you guys are playing, granted, it is November, it's windy, different things like that. Is there talks of defense to be like, man, make them throw the ball over our head? Or let's and I say that because I watch games all the time and I see defenses not playing as aggressive in certain weather conditions and stuff like that I think they should. How much of a factor is that when you're on the road this time of year?
We love it, man. I mean,
And
I
maybe
see, I
not
see
even necessarily on the road, but in general this time of year. What are
we
those
love it.
conversations and meetings like?
Yeah, no, we love it. I mean, I see the segment is called defense travels, but when we're playing in the cold, we're hoping the weather travels too. We hope it's cold, and because as a defender, that hit that I give you to your shin, to your arm is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a little bit more because it's cold. When you land on the floor, the ground is a little bit harder. I love when it's raining. You can't really get out your brakes, slipping, like all that. I feel like works into a like defender's favor. But when you play a team like Green Bay, who I remember when we played Green Bay, it all of us was wearing long sleeves, and their receivers and running backs had short sleeves, and we're like, dang, these fools is not even cold. So it's not. We think it's a mind thing. We thinking it's not bothering them, but yeah, the weather for sure definitely works in our favor, I believe.
Speaking of hits and defense, hey, bro, what's good with defenders hitting each other, man? Y'all be kamikazes.
Yeah, I know. It's
I
what's
remember
it called?
watching the Giants, Bobby Okereke tried to punch the ball out. Hit, I think Cordell Flott. He in concussion protocol. He damn near missed 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I feel like a
that's how I
lot of
got.
injuries come from defenders hitting same team.
I
Friendly
got
fire.
I got a concussion like that too. So what's being preached in the meetings is all 11 to the ball, right? All 11 to the ball. If it's
But don't
wiggling,
hit me, bruh. What y'all
if it's wiggling,
colorblind?
if it's wiggling, hit it. Loafs. We don't no. If we don't want loafs. So everyone is just flying to the ball. Everyone is just trying to hit something. And but at the end of the day, I mean,
team, man. Don't
know.
just hit something. Hit the other team.
I'm with you, but when you moving 60, 70 miles an hour, you just hit.
That's
whatever.
exactly why I play offense, man. Every time I see some friendly fire on defense, I'm like, see, that's exactly why I did not play defense.
And it's
these
usually
fools over there hitting each other.
It's usually these the stats guys because they know, oh, let me get another group tackle or whatever. Let me get another
jump in on the pod, get an assist.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I ain't gonna lie. I also seen a lot of friendly fire and guys kind of hitting each other on picks and stuff too. Late in the game, I don't know. I was watching Green Bay the other day. Green Bay had a few opportunities for interceptions. Guys hitting each other, kind of breaking it up. I'm like, man, the defense be out there, man. Y'all be wilding on defense sometimes.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you got to understand, guys are just trying to make plays. And if one of their teammates is in the way, so be it. It's the cost of doing business.
I feel that. So with this time of year, you know what I'm saying? I know it's cold outside. When people get in their car, the people who got them nice cars and whatnot, turn on them seat heaters. And where I'm going with this is some coaches and some teams of people whose seats is getting hot.
Yeah. GMs too.
Getting hot, man. GMs too. I mean, we already saw a couple coaches get fired. Tennessee Titans fired their head coach. The New York Giants fired Brian Daboll, which I was a bit surprised at. Is there anybody that you listen? We not on no tour stuff, you know, but
yeah.
From the outside looking in, from your perspective, is there any team or organization that you've seen and you got some sources, so you may have heard? Is it anybody whose seats is getting hot a little bit or could use a coaching change?
Yeah, I mean,
who comes to mind? I should say.
I was gonna say three coaches come to mind. And again, remember my phrase: show me a struggling team, I'll show you a struggling quarterback. And then I'll add to that. I'll show you a coach.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I'll show you a coach's booty who's on the hot seat. So two teams, one division: Cleveland and Zach and the Bengals.
Wow,
Zach Taylor, who's a former Husker.
Those two I wouldn't have guessed. We're gonna get a little bit to Cleveland late in the show, but you think the Cincinnati Bengals?
I mean, it's just, and again, not Zach. I can't say it's not Zach's fault, but I mean, Flacco's doing his thing. It's not the quarterback, because Flacco's doing his thing. Now you have to address the defense. It's like, man, what's going on with the defense? Yeah. And then with Stefanski, I mean, in Cleveland, that's tough. I mean, what's going on there? That whole quarterback situation. And again, like Baker was there, and now Baker's having success. It's tough. And one that did come to mind, but it's rarely that you see one and dones. But Pete Carroll, I mean, whatever they're doing down there,
bruh. I'm so glad you said that, bruh. I was just gonna say that, man. But it's not just that. And listen, I respect my elders. I do, P. I'm not gonna lie to you. I respect my elders, man. But where do you go when your team look like that, too, and whatever they are, and your head coach is 73 years old?
Right.
Where do you go?
There
is no, we're looking towards the future, and this is something that we're developing, we're trying to establish. Your coach is 73 years old.
Right.
Everything needs to be established. You have an older coach and a veteran quarterback, and you're two and whatever you are, and you look absolutely terrible. And I
Man,
rock with Pete Carroll, but at the
me too.
same time, sometimes time just passed, and
Right.
it ain't your time no more. Like
Yeah.
just like players.
Oh, 100%.
You
I didn't even think
36.
about
I'm a
that.
little
I
bit
didn't.
young. I'm a little bit younger than you, but we seen Coach Belichick, the league kind of tell him he passed his time. Coach Carroll, he's 73. I ain't gonna lie, Coach. I don't care how much energy you got daily and what you
Right.
bringing in, how many cups of coffee, the energy you. Listen, man, it's only so much a coach who's 73 years old can kind of do. Would
Right.
you agree?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. They say football is a young man's game.
Coaching,
Coaching
thank you, bro.
too.
It's so many
Yeah,
hours, man.
yeah,
Listen. When you think about to what time coaches are staying in the facility and to what they're doing, when I think about somebody who's older doing that, that's a lot, bro. Coaches
yeah.
aren't leaving the building sometimes till 1 a.m., 2 a.m.,
Man,
trying to get the game plans in and stuff. Some
get in
coaches
there
are
at
sleeping in
6,
their
and you're getting
office.
and you're getting there at 6.
And
100%.
you getting there at 6, trying to get a workout in.
Yeah. No,
You
that's
know,
tough,
it's
and
a
that's what I'm
young man's
saying.
game, and coaching to a certain degree is as well.
Right.
So time passed, and I'm all one for I listen. I like things to keep. I like to keep the main thing, and keep things equal. Just like you said, playing is a young man's game. So why don't we think coaching is a
That
young
is
man's
true.
game as well, or a younger man's game,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's true. And like you said, I mean, the game is evolving, and some of these coaches probably don't evolve. And I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to get on this, but I'm gonna bring it up about the schedules. It's just like we. It's been proven that we could get ready for a game done Sunday and then play on Thursday. I don't think the work week needs to be that long. Or
I've heard some coaches say that they want to get rid of the Thursday games because it's almost impossible to prepare for, or there's a lack of preparation. But listen, hey man, I don't want to call you a Fed P, but you know what I'm saying. You talking some NFLPA Fed stuff right now,
no, I'm not.
and I don't know if I particularly want to be a part of that.
I'm just saying though. Come on, man.
You
Like
know what I'm
we've
saying,
seen that.
you talking work hours, work weeks, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
Hey man,
man.
you
And
tapping into the union right now.
I think last year a team played on Wednesday. Like remember, it was during like a holiday. Like a
It
team
may have
got
been a
done
holiday.
Sunday, and then they played
Listen,
on Wednesday.
I was a part of a team last year that played on Sunday, Thursday, and the following Thursday. So we didn't get our long weekend
Wow,
until we played a whole nother game. You know what I'm saying? We played
wow,
Sunday, Thursday, then our long weekend. It ain't go
wow.
Sunday, Thursday, long weekend.
We get right.
Sunday, Thursday, long weekend.
Wow.
And that was a grind. That was a grind.
That's what I'm saying. And so what I'm trying to combat for just the work schedules. It doesn't need to be. I mean, when are we in there from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.? It doesn't need
Yeah.
to. It doesn't need to be like that, and especially for coaches. I mean,
Yeah.
get your work in and get out, but that's a whole nother thing.
Now we're gonna get into some game balls. Your boy was back this week. I know we've been a lot of talk of
Oh,
the
I
talk of
already
the
know who you're talking
town,
about.
but
JT.
49ers versus Arizona. Brock
Oh, Brock
Purdy.
Purdy. Oh,
Brock
Brock.
Purdy was out there percolating.
Man, back at the crib. Az. He's an Az boy. So
I'll
back
say
at the
this.
crib.
I'll say this. I did speak the praise of Mac Jones throughout the course of the season, but I did see a good elevation when it came to Brock Purdy and what he was doing for that offense. I
Mm,
think just his mobility stuck out a lot as far as him being able to extend some plays and stuff like that. Granted, Arizona, Jacoby Brissett, he threw the ball a ton of times. I want to say maybe I forget how many times in the 50s or so or something like that. But shout out to Jacoby Brissett, man, because at least he's been fighting, and that team in
right.
Arizona, they've been fighting as well. But I have to tip my hat to Brock Purdy. there was a difference. He did elevate the 49ers coming back last week.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And he's feeding his man. It's like him and Kittle, they're making up for lost times. And so
Yeah.
um like he was feeding him the ball. That offense just seemed clicking. It just seemed like there was a different motor. You saw McCaffrey. McCaffrey, I mean,
He's been
he's been
playing
playing
well. He's been
strong.
playing
Yeah,
well.
he's been playing strong. And there's been a theme this year. I want to look at it. I want to see the stats, but a lot of running backs have been being treated as wide receivers. You see a lot of running backs be a part of the passing game, which is good. I don't know if that's a weakness in the linebacker core, but you see a lot of running backs have some great
It's a
success in the passing
matchup
game.
based thing. It's a
Yeah.
matchup based things with teams playing too high and playing quarters.
Mm.
I'm a person where, in offenses that I've been around, uh a 3-by-1 set versus quarters, you go against quarters, the running back is going to be one-on-one with the linebacker in those instances. So you can kind of create and build in some matchups that you like and that are heavily favored towards the running back if you have a somewhat of a receiving running back. But moving on to the second game ball, again, man, I want to give a shout out to this person, man, because they've been playing well, man. And it's been a lot of different things spoke about them as far as if they're the guy and where they stand at in the league. But the Panthers versus the Falcons, Bryce
Mm.
Young,
They've been playing well.
the Carolina Panthers right now have a winning record. They're second in the division. They're in the hunt. They swept the Atlanta Falcons this year. So I think for what they're doing, man, they're moving in the right direction. They're moving in the right direction. And for the Atlanta Falcons, they're moving in the wrong direction. You just saw
Yeah.
Michael Penix Jr. probably out
On
for the
IR.
season,
Yep.
bone bruise, partially torn ACL. Kirk Cousins will now be coming in to fill in. I think Drake London will be missing some time as well. The Atlanta Falcons also traded their first round pick to the Los Angeles Rams. So the Los
Mm.
Angeles Rams have another pick in the first round next year from the Atlanta Falcons. And if the Atlanta Falcons keep playing how they've been playing, that's going to be a pretty high pick, which is tough for Atlanta because that goes to show you when teams trade their first round picks what the organization believes they are, which is a win now team. And unfortunately, they have not shown that at all this year. They've struggled.
Yeah. 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 And they have to get it together. They must.
A lot of weapons over there on offense. Also, a lot of personnel wise on defense. When you look at who they have up front as far as rushers that they spent a lot of draft capital to acquire. You have AJ Terrell at corner. You have safety Jesse Bates, who's so it's so much talent over there with Atlanta. I just can't quite understand or wrap my head around what's causing them to lose in the sense that they are because they're a very talented team. But moving on to game ball number 3, going down to Duval, the Jaguars versus
Duval.
the Jaguars versus the Chargers. The game ball is going to Jacksonville Jaguars defense, man. They've been playing extremely well this season. Right now, obviously, the Indianapolis Colts are winning that division, but you have the Jacksonville Jaguars who are second in that division. And obviously they lost to Houston a couple weeks ago, but they're
Right.
in the hunt. Do you think that I don't know how much you've watched them, but do you think that defense can lead them? Because again, the AFC wild card, man, is going to be a battle royale as we get here into December with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs in the hunt, the Baltimore Ravens in the hunt. You have a lot of teams who are normally division winners. The Buffalo Bills are a team that's not winning their division. Some of the teams that we're used to and accustomed being penciled in are teams that are in the hunt. Do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars and that defense has what it takes to be able to get them a spot into the playoffs.
100%. I think Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty good football. He's playing pretty good football, even though I did see a stat. I think he has the lowest percentage in passing, and the completion percentage in passing. So, but it doesn't matter. He's winning games, and that defense is playing great. I thought they would have been a little depleted without Travis Hunter, but anytime you lose one of your top guys and you still
they did trade for Jacoby Meyer though. They did. So they did add him, and he also led them in receiving last week. So even with him going down, Travis Hunter going down, they still had an acquisition of Jacoby Meyer who can kind of mend that gap a little bit offensively.
Right, and so and that was part of the point I'm making. I mean, they made some moves in free agency, but anytime one of your best players go down and you're still having success, for example, the Broncos, Pastertain, the second went down, and we still see the defense still winning games. I mean, you hold a team like the Chiefs to 19 points, and then so same thing with Jacksonville, for them to be playing as well as they are. With no Travis Hunter, I mean, like I said, credit to the coaching.
I agree. For our last game ball we have is the Buffalo Bills versus the Buccaneers. Had to give it to Josh Allen, man. He put that cape on this week, has 6 total touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing, looked like his MVP self. I know they've been up and down a little bit this year, which we're going to get to a little bit later in the show, but we have to give a game ball to Josh Allen. We saw Keon Coleman be a healthy scratch for disciplinary reasons. So the Buffalo Bills seem that they're trying to figure out who that receiving core is going to be that they can lean on down the stretch here, and they beat a very good Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
Yeah, and that's a great win for the Bills. I mean, to bounce back after losing to the Panthers, I believe, the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
no, they lost to the week before they lost to the Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yes, and to lose how they lost. I mean, yeah, to bounce back and play against a great Tampa Bay team, and Tampa Bay. I mean, you've lost 2 in a row. You lost to a great Patriots team. You lost to a great Bills team,
and they have the Rams coming up this week.
Oh my gosh!
They're getting into that part of the schedule. Like I said, it's November football, man. Like no games are given.
Yeah,
it's a lot of tough football being played right now. A lot of divisional and conference matchups that are taking place right now.
Yeah, and you start to see teams. It's crazy. This is where I gotta say this. Let me get on my soapbox. This is where you start to see. I mean, I don't like to say upsets in the league because anybody's just as good as anybody, but you start to see teams with losing records starting, like, for example, and I want to clip this. You're going to see a team like the Raiders beat some team that they have no business beating. And the reason why you're seeing that is because teams, for whatever reason, they're starting to play free. Like I said, they open up the playbook. It's like, you know what? Let's start running these plays. I remember my rookie year, 2011. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers were amazing. Amazing. They were 15. They were either 14-0 at the time or 15-0. They play a Kansas City Chiefs team with a interim head coach in Romeo Crennel. The Chiefs beat the Packers and had no business beating them and ruined the perfect season.
But it is a lot of parity in the league, and I'm with you when I'm with you, P. But I gotta stop you right there. But the Raiders ain't beat nobody like that.
All right, watch it.
Raiders ain't beat nobody like that, bro. We definitely gonna clip that for socials to see if it's any Raiders fans out there. They're gonna have to stand up and speak now or forever hold your peace.
We're gonna see
because we're gonna see. But moving on to the next segment and one of my favorites, fantasy or reality. We gonna see if some of these topics right here, if Prince think they are fantasy or reality. First up, Jordan Love is still as trustworthy as he was a few weeks ago.
That's reality, man. Jordan Love is still a top 10 quarterback in this league. Sorry, I hesitated because I was trying to I might have given him top 5. But Jordan Love is still top quarterback in this league. Lots of poise. I mean, you could have called this Giants game a trap game for them, but they overcame it and they won. And Jordan Love is going to lead this team to the playoffs.
In my opinion, and also, like, for example, I heard Ben Johnson say it. And Ben Johnson is the best and one of the best at what he does. So I want to exclude him from this a little bit. But I personally think the issue that the Packers have a little bit is they're trying to scheme everything and everybody open, which they're kind of used to doing, but they have to allow Jordan Love to give their weapons some 50-50 opportunities, because I think that will go a long way for them. I saw Christian Watson, as soon as Christian Watson start getting some 50-50 ops. One of them was the first one. Malik Willis threw him a ball in the end zone, 50-50 ball. He caught for a touchdown. There was another 50-50 ball down the sideline he caught later in the game. Jordan Love also threw on a crucial third down, threw a deep pass to a rookie on a 50-50 play that they caught for about 30 to 35 yards and kept the drive alive. I think if they allow Jordan Love to just give some of those weapons opportunity and those guys get the confidence and Jordan Love gets the confidence in them, I think they'll start to roll a little bit more rather than trying to be a little bit too schemy and scheme up everything, and it's taking a little bit too much time. He's getting pressure. He's trying to get the ball out. He's forcing some things in those situations. If you tell him take the one-on-one outside with Christian Watson on a go ball, he's going to deliver a very catchable ball for Christian Watson to be able to make a play. They have to trust and believe in Jordan Love, trust and believe in those weapons, and I think they'll start to see the offense be a little bit more cohesive than they are right now.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I mean,
especially with some
you know
corners out there
better.
like you know, like anybody, man. Them 50-50 down the field balls, man. Hey,
Yeah,
you know, every corner not built to defend that, especially right now, man. I've been seeing calls across the league, DPIs galore. I remember where all these DPIs was at when I was playing.
right.
And couldn't even get 50-50 balls, bro.
That wasn't
I
happening.
said, man, all them go routes I done ran in my career, man, and they throwing out PIs right now like left and right, bro. Hey, listen, I know we talk about this sometimes. I watch every Sunday. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, hey, listen, not only if I'm catching that rock, bro, I'm getting some of them DPIs, bro, for real. I'm gonna draw a deep. I'm gonna draw a few of them things, but so you have that Jordan Love, is still as trustworthy as he was a few weeks ago, and I have to agree with you on that. Next up, the Carolina fantasy or reality. The Carolina Panthers are in the hunt.
Dude, they are, and that's the thing. When you said one of the biggest games, or maybe the biggest game was that NFC North, dude, I thought it was the NFC South, because when you see the records, the Panthers have 6 wins. Fact check me. Yeah, and
they do.
How many do the Bucks have?
The Bucks. I'm gonna fact check it right now. Give me 1 second. The Bucks have 6, and the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers they play Monday night this week. 6-5. Buccaneers.
See? That's what I'm saying.
6-4.
And you would think the Panthers are like the Raiders. I mean, you would just think like that's the feel they give you when you hear the Panthers, but the Panthers have been and they've been winning some big games.
I was gonna say that they beat some good teams. They beat a Green Bay Packers team. They beat a Buffalo Bills team. They swept the Atlanta Falcons. They've won some games. They've won
That's what
some
I'm
games.
saying.
We had them on guaranteed picks early in the season, and they won a couple of those. So I mean, we know firsthand just as far as watching those. And again, I have to agree with you, man. I watched the running backs that they have, the young weapons that they have. Bryce Young is looking a little bit more comfortable, man. It's not teams that's just signing up wanting to play against that
Yeah.
team, and also something that goes unnoticed is that defense.
That defense,
You
yes.
have a big
Yes.
athletic corner in J.C. Horn who can play and run and defend with the best of them. So you have some good. They're playing some good ball down
They
there
are.
in Carolina. Next up on the list, fantasy or reality, the Chicago Bears will win the NFC North.
It's a reality. I mean, they're a very, very hot team and they're finding ways to win football games. And I mean, it doesn't, I'd like to say this about the NFL. It doesn't matter how you win. It just matters if or when you win. Like did you win? And so I think because of how the Bears are playing now, that doesn't mean that if they don't fix things, it's not going to come up to catch them, because when you do have teams in the playoffs, all that is out the window. Like
Definitely.
you and you can still still get exposed, and stuff like that. But I mean, they're winning. They're winning good football games.
I'll say this. I don't know if I'm ready to say that they will win the NFC North yet, but I love what they're doing and the direction that they're heading in. Like I
Yeah.
said before, another win or two under their belt, I would consider this a successful season for that group, just based on what Ben Johnson has been able to do, the way that Caleb Williams has looked, the the confidence that he's bred into his team, and the belief that his team has in him, Ben Johnson, as the coach. You can tell and see the way that they're competing and winning those big games. And
Mm,
that's something that changes the identity of a team and changes the culture of a team. A team who once lost close games, that's now winning the close games. So
right.
I love what they're doing. I think they'll continue to be competitive throughout the course of the year, but I don't know yet if I would say I'm ready to crown them as the team that will win the NFC North. Now, on to the next one. Your favorite team, fantasy or reality? The Denver Broncos are the AFC favorite.
This man said my favorite team. They're the AFC favorite. You said
Yep.
they have
To
to
give
be,
you some
man.
names that are up there: New England Patriots,
Yeah,
Indianapolis
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're not.
Indianapolis
Yeah.
Colts,
No.
Pittsburgh
It's them.
Steelers.
No, it's them in New England. It's them in New England. I forgot, dude. I forgot. New England have been, and I told you that they're my pick to win their division. But
Did you pick them at the start of the year?
I no, I think I picked them when you
Hey,
asked me.
whoever picked them at the start of the year, man, y'all, come holla at us, and y'all can do our
Yeah,
guaranteed picks one week. You show that y'all had them to win at the
yeah.
beginning of the
I
season.
wouldn't have thought that. But yeah, I mean the Broncos. I mean, I'm getting on that wagon. Let's ride. But the Broncos
Bronco
are,
country.
yeah, Broncos are doing their thing. The and yeah, it's Broncos and Patriots. I mean, Indy. I mean, did we didn't even talk about what JT did, Jonathan Taylor, what he did in where were they at? Were they in Spain?
Berlin?
No, they were in
No, was it
Berlin.
Berlin?
They
Germany?
were they were somewhere. Man
I
had
think it was Germany.
200 and something, 240, 200 something plus
Yeah,
rushing yards.
yeah, he did.
Man, and
MVP? MVP.
yeah,
MVP.
I'll give him that, man. I mean, yeah. So he's doing good, but yeah, for sure. Broncos, Bills. I mean, Broncos,
And
Patriots.
this next one I threw in there because I see it, and it's like they for whatever reason, fantasy or reality, and I'll give my opinion first. Bills love thrills. That's fantasy, man. They've been up and
Bills. Oh
down
yeah,
this year like a roller
I know,
coaster.
and just like
I
what
said
you were
maybe I
saying,
just like the thrill of it. You know what I'm saying? Being. Listen, I grew up near Cedar Point, Ohio. Excuse me, not Cedar Point, Ohio. Near Sandusky, Ohio, where they have Cedar Point, one of the best amusement parks in the country. And I'm a roller coaster rider, so I can relate to enjoying the thrills. And that's what seems that Buffalo likes right now, man, because it's been a roller coaster of a year for them, man. Losing to I think they lost to the Falcons early in the year. Um, then they lost to the Miami Dolphins. You come back and beat a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. You beat a Kansas City Chiefs. It's been a lot of ups and downs for the Buffalo Bills. Do you think this level of inconsistency can stand throughout the course of the year and they can get to where they want to get to? Because you would say that the Buffalo Bills are a Super Bowl or bust team, right?
yes. I mean, they've been like that for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, 100%. And we were just saying MVP for JT, but I mean, Josh Allen, if you have two more of those types of performances, two more,
That's a lot to ask, though.
that's three passing, three rushing. I know, but he can do it, and he's done it. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
agree, but I also feel like that has been somewhat to Buffalo's detriment because when he hasn't been able to get that off, when he's been pressing to kind of get that off, they've had some turnovers. A late game fumble against Miami Dolphins, that was also Josh Allen. A red zone pick against Miami Dolphins, that was also Josh Allen. You
right.
know, so as he's trying to do those things, sometimes he's getting it off, sometimes he's not getting it off, and it's costing him. So I think that they haven't found really the consistency with the weapons and receiving core that they have wanted to have around him. They elevated, I believe, Gabe Davis off a practice squad to play last week. They activated McCole Hardman off a practice squad to play last week. Um, Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch. So it's a lot of ups and downs in general going on right now in Buffalo. I'm curious to see how the rest of the season plays out. But we have a few hot topics here to end the show. First up on the list, Patrick Mahomes' late season heroics. Is it too late, or can he still be and bring out those Patty Holmes like heroics that we are used to seeing?
Oh, it's never late with him. I don't think anybody counts him out. I mean, if you ask who's the
I
best
agree.
quarterback in the league, I mean, it's undeniably him. And so, I mean, it's crazy because last year, I think they finished the regular season. Um, what did they finish? Was it 16-1, 15-2? They
Yeah.
finished they finished pretty solid, and they were winning all close games. And so I feel like this year could be the opposite, and they could be a team. I mean, think about it. Think, think about it. You're the number one ranked team or whatever. Say you're top seed, and your first game in the wild card is the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
it's just like,
tough.
man,
Tough.
yeah.
Listen, big game this week. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
How I go? Oh, I'm taking the
oh,
Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think they
yeah.
bounce back. I think they gain some momentum, and I think they march forward to locking in a wild card spot late in the playoffs. Next up, and this has been a huge topic across media,
Oh
social
yeah.
media,
Group
and
chats.
everything else. What's the standard? What's the standard? So y'all know we got to be talking about Cleveland here. What is the standard P when it comes to late round draft pick rookies? And during season, we saw a lot of people say it's been malpractice because Shador Sanders didn't get reps with the ones. And explain to the audience from your opinion, what is it like for a late round draft pick or a person who's 2, 3, or 4 on the depth chart when it comes to the season?
Yeah, I mean your reps are with scout team, and so that's where you're going. That's where you're gonna get your your tempo, your rhythm, your feels. That's where you get acclimated. And then sometimes, I mean, they might have you run. I mean, if there's a period in practice where it's unscripted, they'll bring in the twos, and you're gonna run um, your team's offense against the other team's defense. But are you gonna be throwing to Jerry Judy? I don't I don't think so. Like Jerry Judy
Yeah.
is not going to be out there. So the QB1 is getting all the reps.
And he's getting this is what I think too. I think that people don't quite understand when it comes to a NFL practice and what those reps look like. First and foremost, it's impossible to rep all the plays that's in the game plan that you're going to run on Saturday. You
Right.
might rep some of those one time and then you're going to walk through them a couple more times. So when it comes to the live reps of those plays, QB1 is getting those plays with the number one skill position. Being in Detroit, Jared Goff threw to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. He threw to those guys. Being other places, the starting quarterback throws to that first group every single time.
Right.
Routes on air, ones are throwing to ones. Group install, same. And once you get to practice, the ones take those reps because that might be the only rep that quarterback gets of that play full speed that week.
Mm,
You aren't getting every single play full speed. We there are a lot of times where we're walking through plays during the course of a Saturday or before the game that we haven't ran full speed all week. So when it
right.
comes to the full speed plays, the QB1 is taking that. But Dylan Gabriel, I believe, is still in concussion protocol. So he
Right.
will get a full rack of first team plays this week heading into the game. I believe the Cleveland Browns play the Las Vegas Raiders
Yep. In,
this
in
week.
in Las Vegas. Yeah, in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is a
Based on
team.
last week, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say Las Vegas is a team who I thought should have picked up Shador in the draft, or should even got
Listen,
him in free agency. So this would be a good. I think this would be a good outing for Shadir. I expect Shadir to have success this game.
and I feel for Geno Smith
Yeah.
because Myles Garrett, man, that dude's on another level right now. But moving on, got a couple more topics. Is it time to hit the panic button in Seattle? And I say hit the panic button in Seattle offensively based on the fact Sam Darnold now 4 picks against the Los Angeles Rams. He struggled a lot against the Rams just in general, like last season, he struggled against the Rams a little bit when he was in Minnesota. This year as well, struggling against the Rams when they played last weekend, he threw 4 interceptions. I don't think it's quite yet time to hit the panic button. I think that the Seattle defense is playing very well. They still had a chance to win the game last weekend. If anything, I think Seattle should be encouraged with how Sam Darnold played, and they still had a shot to beat one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
Yeah, Seattle is still. I mean, Seattle's a team that shows that they can put up points. I mean, we just gave praise to Jackson Smith and Nigba not too long ago, and I remember turning on the TV one time, and Seattle was 35-0 on the Cardinals, in I think in the second quarter. And we can't just say, "Oh, that's the Cardinals." That's a Cardinals team who plays tough and fights into the end. And so, no, now because they are in that conference, I mean, that's still a tough conference. You still got the Rams, you still got the Niners up there. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of fizzles out. But I mean, I have the Rams winning that. But again, a healthy Brock Purdy, you never know what could happen.
I agree. I agree. And last up on the list for this week, we kind of spoke to it earlier in the show, but getting ready for next year. What teams What are those teams right now? I mean, it can be a little bit obvious and apparent, but what teams for you come to mind? And we spoke a little bit about this in the group chat as well, but who comes to mind for you when it's like, man, just pack it up and get ready for next year?
Yeah, so obviously the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, the Falcons,
If
the
I can stop you right
Saints.
there, I got another team that a lot of people thought was going to come into this year and contend. The Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. But again, quarterback. Like, yeah, Commanders, 100%. The Saints. And it's not like, I mean, like we're going to have to look
Big
and
Blue?
see.
Big
Ain't
Blue?
that
You can't
funny?
leave
Yeah,
out Big
I
Blue,
know,
P.
right?
I know you brother-in-law, but you can't
I
leave out
know.
Big Blue.
Yeah, I know. The Giants. Yeah, I mean the Giants gonna be rebuilt. I mean, obviously, no head coach. You don't fire your head coach when you're having a winning season. So that's an obvious one. And so yeah,
Which
I
is
mean,
also interesting. Which is also interesting to kind of, just piggyback on Big Blue is they're not gonna be in a rebuild. The coach expectation that's coming into Big Blue next year is
oh
gonna be to win
yes,
now.
I mean, and you're not just rebuilding. When I say rebuild, sorry, you're not just rebuilding personnel, but you're also rebuilding. I mean, like coaching and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
so
Identity
now,
more so.
because you always speak to this. I feel like you have a heart for the quarterbacks, but you said like this is going to be his third playbook in 3 years. Ole Miss different playbook. I know.
Hold them
I don't know
fingers up
what
one more time.
everyone
Bam,
says
P.
that. I don't know. But anyways,
Bro, that's like a DB. Bro, that's from all that holding you've been doing, bro. You was doing all that
but,
holding on jerseys,
but
bro.
listen, dang, that's
You need to
crazy. I
get
didn't
one
even
of them.
realize that.
You need to get one of them scrapers, laser,
I
all of
didn't
that,
realize
bro.
that. But I got a good nail bed. But anyways, listen. So, like you said, and you have a heart for the quarterback. A different playbook at the end of his year at Ole Miss. Different playbook this year. Now another playbook, and so I mean, and I think Jackson Dart is smart enough and wants it enough to where he's going to figure it out and be successful. But like, yeah, so when I say rebuild, not just really personnel where you're trying to add more pieces to the puzzle, but it's just more of like coaching, playbooks, and stuff like that.
And in these changes, everybody don't learn at the same rate,
That is true. Yeah.
which can cause a little bit of it's a little bit uneven because you
Yeah.
have people who are learning your offensive line room may be able to learn a little bit faster than the skill position. And then it's just certain nuances that take place when coaches come in that I don't think everybody from the outside looking in quite understands as to why something happens or why somebody doesn't get it. And even to the Atlanta Falcons, that could be something that they're going on the last couple of years with them having a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. We're just expecting those guys with all that skill to be able just to come in, learn it right away, and be moving on and moving forward. But sometimes learning all those plays and different schemes and systems,
Right.
it can be difficult. It can be
Yeah.
difficult, but to wrap it up, we got guaranteed picks of the week. So for
Yep.
me, I'm looking to build a nice little parlay this weekend. It's a boxing weekend coming up as well. I'm a yeah, it's fight night weekend this weekend, man. I'm extremely excited for that as well. But with my guaranteed picks, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills over the Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens over the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions over the New York Giants, and the Seattle Seahawks over the Tennessee Titans. I'm also going to mix in. I got to take Devin Haney over Bryant Norman Jr. this weekend as well. It's some NBA games popping. They have the in-season tournament popping as well. I might sprinkle in the Detroit Pistons over whoever they're playing
They've been winning.
just
They've been on
because
a
that's the
streak.
hometown team and they're rolling. As you see, got to show some love to the New York Knicks as well. They've been hooping as well. Shout out to them. Me and P actually went to a game a couple weeks ago versus the Washington Wizards and had a good time. So I got to throw some love in there for the New York Knicks. Now on to Prince's picks. You said you had a couple teams winning the division. Are there any picks that you had at the start of the season that's starting to play out in your favor a little bit?
I mean, so far, just the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers winning the Super Bowl and being MVP. But my guarantee picks, which I mean, this is a crazy line, but I see it. But Chiefs over Colts. I cannot see the Chiefs losing 2 times in a row, and you guys should not either. Um,
I agree.
uh,
Oh, I ain't mean to cut you off, but I got to. Also in my guaranteed picks, Penn State over Nebraska.
this guy.
I
I was
gotta throw
hoping,
them in there as well. I got a nice little parlay going this weekend, man. Got a nice little parlay going.
Yeah, whatever. I like Green Bay
Okay.
over Minnesota, and then again because of my whoa. I'm looking at Cleveland and the Raiders. There might be some action there. I like Cleveland to upset the Raiders. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. And then Jacksonville over the Cardinals. I do not know. These lines are crazy. There's some money to be made here. And the same with the Eagles and the Cowboys. Why is that close? There's some money to be made here. Those are like minus 100.
Talk to us, bro.
Games.
You do how much you hit that other week? Hey, listen, we ain't pocket watching. But hey, bro. Hey, somebody said, bro, what you hit? 5, 6 figures, bro. Listen, we ain't pocket watching.
5 or 6 figures.
I'm just talking about what the streets is talking about, bro. The streets saying you up right now, bro. That's what they talking.
Yeah.
That's what they saying, bro. They saying you out here up, bro.
I'm doing okay, but listen though. When I say I want to say gamble responsibly. Gamble responsibly.
Listen, man. Love it, Pete, bro. Let the people know, man. Give them a disclaimer. Gamble responsibly. I don't know the number that you need to call, but if I did, I will let you know. If you listen, you got a little issue now. Hey, it's the 1-800 number that can handle that. Go ahead and hit it. But this concludes the show for this week. We're looking forward to week 12 in the NFL and also some college football. Penn State versus Nebraska. We got some boxing this week. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. I love this time of year when you got college football, NFL, NBA, boxing, UFC for everybody who loves it, hockey as well. Just saw Gleyber Torres pick up his qualifying offer for the Tigers. Man, it's an exciting sport time of year, and I'm enjoying it. And that's the conclusion for this show. I'm your host, Allen Robinson, Pro Bowl wide receiver, Prince Amukamara, Super Bowl champion. Until next week, holla.